In this example, we're going to solve this linear system, and we're going to use substitution to do so. So the first step in substitution is to choose one of these equations and go ahead and isolate one of the variables, or solve for a variable. Okay, so typically we're going to look for one of the variables whose coefficients are going to be 1 or -1, something that's easy to isolate. I notice up here I have coefficients of 7 and 6, and here I have coefficients of 2 and -1 right there. So because this y has a coefficient of -1, he will be fairly easy to isolate. So what's going to happen is I'm going to look at this 2x minus y equals 14. I want the y to be by itself, but I want it to be positive. So I'm going to dump the y on the right side by adding y to both sides, which means that I need to get this 14 off the right side and over the left side. So what this will look like is 2x minus 14 will equal y. So anytime I see the variable y, I can associate it with this expression 2x minus 14. So what we're going to do now, since I use this equation to get my value of y, I'm going to go ahead and plug in this 2x minus 14 into y, but in the other equation. And in this manner, we can combine these two equations together. So I have 7x plus 6y equals -8. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in for y this 2x minus 14. Okay, so now I have 7x plus, I use the distributive property, 12x minus 84 equals -8. So 19x, we're going to add 84 to both sides to get rid of those guys, and that ends up being, what, 76? So my value of x is going to be 4. So now that I know my value for x, I need to go ahead and substitute this 4 into an equation and solve for y. Well, which equation would be the best to plug it into? Well, if I plug x in here or here, I'm going to have to do some work to solve for y. But here in this equation, I've already done that work. Y is by itself. So if I have 2x minus 14 equals y, I can plug this 4 into x. So 2 times 4 and minus 14 equals y. 8 minus 14 equals y. And y is going to equal -6. So I have an ordered pair now. My x value is 4. My y value is -6. And this is going to be the solution of this linear system, and I found it using substitution. So again, what this means is, if I was going to graph these two equations, I would notice that they have a single point of intersection, and that point of intersection is the ordered pair 4, -6.